Ketu South Node has already transited into its brand new Nakshatra of Chitra, and this is actually very good news for all of us. That's what I discussed today. Hello everybody, I'm Tina Chaudhary. Welcome to my channel and a very, very warm namaste. Aham Brahmasmi. Before I start talking about Ketu's transit in Chitra, I just want to mention that I did bring this up, this transit, a little bit in my July prediction video. And if you haven't watched that July prediction video, you can watch it now. I'll put a link to that in my description box, so you can still watch it. It's still early on in the month, so definitely watch it if you still haven't watched it. So let's take a look at all the planetary details and the dates of Ketu's transit into its new nakshatra, and then we'll talk about the details of this beautiful nakshatra called Chitra and how it impacts all of us. I also have predictions for each zodiac at the end of my video, so you can watch that. But I strongly recommend that you listen to this part, because this is how you can learn how this transit can actually benefit you, or how you can take advantage of this transit, as opposed to quickly running to your ascendant and just listening to your ascendant, because that's a very short prediction that I've made. But this is the main gist of how you can take advantage of this nakshatra's transit. Now, Ketu transited into the nakshatra of Chitra on 26th June, and it's going to stay there till March 4th, so it's a long transit. The nakshatra of Chitra is partly in Libra, and the other part of it is in the zodiac of Virgo. Ketu had transited into the nakshatra, the zodiac of Libra last year, but it was hanging out in the nakshatra of Swati for a very long time, until just recently, June 26th. Swati is ruled by Rahu, and so the result was that Ketu was giving us its impact through Rahu, which we all know that Ketu and Rahu were giving results in each other's nakshatra, which was a little bit challenging for all of us. So now, even though Ketu hasn't changed its zodiac, it's still in the zodiac of Libra. It's changed its nakshatra, it's gone into Chitra. And it's going to stay there, like I said, till March 4th. But in the middle of its transit, while it's in Chitra, it's going to change its zodiac. So later this year, in November, it's going to change its zodiac, and it's going to go into Virgo, but it's going to stay in Chitra the whole time. So like I said, Chitra kind of overlaps two zodiac signs, Libra and Virgo. So later this year, in November, Ketu stays in Chitra, but it moves into Virgo. So the predictions that I've made is for before November and after November, because it gives very different results when it changes its zodiac, even though it stays in the same nakshatra. So now let's talk a little bit about the nakshatra Chitra. So Chitra is ruled by Mars. So now we're going to see the impact. Ketu is going to give us its impact through its ascendant, or the nakshatra ruler, which is Mars. So it's very important for us to see the placement of Mars in our chart. Not only that, it's also very important for us to see the placement, or the houses that Mars rules in our charts in the ascendant. So Mars rules two zodiac signs, which is Aries and Scorpio. So you need to see for your ascendant the houses that are Mars ruled. So where is Aries and where is Scorpio placed for each ascendant? In my predictions, I've kind of marked out where Aries and Scorpio are for each ascendant, so it's kind of easy for you to spot and see where those houses are. And that's the reason I've marked out Aries and Scorpio, because those are Mars ruled zodiacs. And so it's very important for you to look at your chart and see where Mars is placed. And that's where Ketu is going to deliver its impact through. So all the planets always deliver their results through the nakshatra lord based on the nakshatra they're transiting in. So here we go. Ketu is now in the nakshatra of Chitra. Thank God it's out of the nakshatra of Rahu. I'm so sorry that I've been very delayed in making this video, but I haven't been feeling well at all, and so now here I am making this video. It's a very important video, that's why I still wanted to make it, even though the transit has already happened. I usually do my videos way before the transit happens, and now look, I'm doing it 2 or 3 weeks after. But it's a very important transit, so I've still decided to make it. So let's take a look at this nakshatra of Chitra in a little bit more detail and see how this can impact us over the next 8 months that Ketu is going to be in Chitra. So the word Chitra or the name Chitra actually means a painting or a picture, a beautiful painting or a picture. So this also the ruler of Chitra is the god Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma is considered the celestial architect. So he was the architect of the gods, but he was also the creator of all the tools that are needed to fight the wars. I cannot say this word on YouTube, but that's what he used. So he was very creative. The Lord Vishwakarma was very creative. He came up with all these new ideas, new innovations, and he implemented new things on how to do various things. And because this is ruled by Mars, the main things that he created was also the tools that you need to fight against each other. So he created all these things not only for the gods but also for the demons, and he created extremely customized tools for all of these different people. So he was very innovative, very clever, very, very creative. He also was the architect, so he also created the palaces of the gods that they live in. He created the palaces for the kings, but he also created the palace that in the Hindu mythology, Sanatan mythology, that the Lord Ravan lived in, the gold palace that Ravan lived in. So he was the one, the architect that created all of these palaces that the gods lived in. So we learned from this that this is the nakshatra that denotes creativity at its finest. People that have Chitra nakshatra in their birth charts are extremely, extremely creative, and they think outside the box. They think new things. They don't just recreate what's already out there. They create new things. So this is why I just love this nakshatra, even though I don't have this nakshatra in my birth chart, but I like to create new things. That's why if people that have Chitra nakshatra, there's two things about them. They're very beautiful because Chitra represents beauty at its finest, and it also represents, like I said, creativity at its top level finest, thinking outside the box, making something new that nobody has seen before. So this is what Chitra denotes. Now the symbol of Chitra is a pearl, and the pearl is so beautiful, but it's so simple and shiny and has luster. But it actually, the beauty of a pearl is in its simplicity and the purity. So but where is it? It's usually found inside a crab and in the crustacean, and the way to find the pearl is to actually break the outer shell. And so the symbolism or the signification of this pearl means that the outer shell signifies the materialistic way we live our life, or our materialistic desires. That little pearl inside signifies our own spiritual beauty that lies within us. So it teaches us to break away from all the materialistic ways of our life, the materialistic desires, and find the inner beauty of the soul within us. And why is creativity involved? Because it teaches us to find the most creative way, the most innovative way that we can move away from the materialistic desires that we have of this world and find the inner beauty within us by moving towards spirituality. And so that's why, even though the Chitra nakshatra is a very materialistic kind of a nakshatra, because it does signify beautiful things. It signifies the architect, which is beautiful palaces. It signifies paintings and things like that, the things of luxury. So it does signify it is a materialistic nakshatra. But the ultimate teaching that this nakshatra tells us is that you need to find your spirituality. And the reason it's in Libra, also it starts out being in Libra, is because the Libra zodiac is the sign of balancing. It shows the scales. So it teaches us how to balance our relationships. It teaches us how to balance materiality with spirituality. And so this significance, when it comes into Chitra, shows us how we can balance our materialistic desires and how we can lead a more spiritual life, and how we can balance the two. You can't be entirely materialistic and you can't be entirely spiritual, because we do live in this world. And so this nakshatra, that's why it is one of my favorite nakshatras, is because it teaches you how to balance both of those, the spirituality and materialistically, and live in this world, survive in this world with that fine balance. Now, one of the reasons it also is considered the balancing of both those spiritual and material lives is because it's the dead center of all the nakshatras. It's the 14th nakshatra, so of 27 nakshatras. So there's 13 nakshatras in front of Chitra, and there's 13 nakshatras behind Chitra. So it's kind of the midpoint, and that's why it teaches you the balancing of everything. It teaches you how to balance everything, balance of emotions, balance of your material desires and your spiritual growth. So that's why it's considered, the midpoint where, you kind of balance everything out. You don't go to extremes of either point. And that's why now that Ketu has gone into Chitra, it's teaching us how we balance relationships, how we balance our career and our home life. And this is why it's such a wonderful time for Ketu to have gone in there, because we've just come from this dreadful COVID, and now everybody's suffering, because when Ketu was in Swati in the Rahu Nakshatra, a lot of us had trouble within relationships. Nobody can deny that. Trust me, people are coming to me from everywhere saying that relationships are troubled. And these are not just love relationships, they're relationships within families, within work relationships are troubled. And now Ketu comes into Chitra and tells us, look, if you find the creativity, come up with creative ideas on how you can learn to balance relationships and get along with everybody. So this is what it's teaching us. It's a very important part now, and that's how you can best take advantage of this time. When I make my predictions, I've kind of mentioned that for each ascendant, and so you can listen to that definitely. Find the inner beauty within you that we all carry. We all carry this beautiful pearl within us, the beauty of the soul within us. The soul's so pure. Find that beauty within you and let it shine through. So this is what this beautiful nakshatra teaches us. What are some of the world events that we can expect because of this transit? Well, definitely because it relates to creativity and doing something, bringing out something absolutely new that nobody's seen before. So it means a lot of new innovations that come out in the world of technology. It could be related to space as well, space technology, because Ketu does represent that. When it goes into Virgo, then we can also expect to see some great innovations in the field of health and disease. Some new medication could come out, new medicines, some new healing, technology type of diseases, medicine could also come out. So that we can expect that, because it's just something new that we've never heard of, that could also come out. Unfortunately, Ketu is a malefic planet, and it rules mountains. So we can also expect, probably, hope not, but we can probably think that some disasters, related to mountainous regions of the world. Ketu, the direction related to Ketu is the northeast and northwest. So we can see some unrest. We can also expect to see some natural disasters in those areas relating to mountainous regions, the northeast and the northwest. So there could be some natural disasters, accident kind of things related to that. The other thing is Ketu represents spirituality, but Ketu also represents doing things without thinking, because Ketu doesn't have a head. So probably we can see some communal tensions, mob frenzy, mob related violent attacks, and just like communal tension, mob kind of violent attacks. We can expect to see that more so in the northeast, northwest regions of the world, because those are the directions signified by Ketu. So you really hope that none of this happens, but those are the basic world events that can be made predicted. Don't forget that Ketu is in a Mars related nakshatra, so Mars does relate to a lot of action, a lot of fighting, a lot of warlike events, so fighting events and bloodshed and angry events also. So definitely those events can probably happen at this time too. I hope they don't, but that's some of the predictions I think I can make. I now move on to predictions. My predictions are based on Vedic astrology, on your ascendant or your rising sign. Definitely don't go by your magazines, the newspapers, the sun signs. That's not what they're based on. Also, and there's timestamps in my video for each ascendant sign. So make sure if you want to look up your ascendant sign, you can look up my timestamp for that. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe and share this video with friends and family. It's a valuable video that everybody needs to take advantage of this situation. So please do share this with friends and family. Aries. Aries, Ketu is in the 7th house, and then after November, it transits to the 6th house. And Mars rules your 1st house, it's your ascendant ruler, and it also rules your 8th house. Now, from now to October, the focus will be on maintaining relationships. You are going to have to change your approach, your behavior, and your handling of key relationships now very quickly, or some of them may actually end during this period. Some Aries have already been struggling within the marriage in the last 1 year, and now is the time that where you can either repair it or it may end in a very bad way. Although this is a very positive time in terms of financial gains and career, you probably are not going to be very happy enough to enjoy it. Do whatever you can to maintain this balance, this personal happiness within relationships and your career goals. Libra is all about the delicate balance that we need to maintain in our lives. So now is a time where relationships are going to be a focus, but also because positive things may be happening in your career, try to maintain this delicate balance between relationships and career. After November, the focus shifts to your health, and as a result, you may need to make very significant changes in your lifestyle and your daily routine to incorporate better health habits. Eat very healthy and make sure you start a daily physical workout regimen. You may see some of the impact of your previously ignored health habits. So some of you may see that impact on your health. So make sure you take good care of your health. And also one of the things is when Ketu comes into the 6th house, it doesn't let you detect any health issues. In fact, it may even hide or cover up any health issues that you do have. So at the slightest bit of you feeling unwell, make sure you get it checked out. But the better option is to always take very good care of your health while Ketu is in your 6th house after November. Also, after November, be very careful not to get into disputes, altercations, or legal battles with anyone. There will be losses as well as possible defamation. Your opponents may have a much stronger hand than yours, so be very aware of that before you start any battle with any sort. Ketu in the 6th house never lets the person win against others. So become aware of that before you start any altercation. Also, a last word of guidance is maintain a very good relationship with your coworkers after November. There may be some disturbance there, but if you maintain that good balance, maintain good relationship with your coworkers, there's a possibility that that could also be very favorable. Taurus. Taurus, Ketu is currently transiting in your 6th house. Then in after November, it transits to your 5th house. And then for you, Mars rules the 12th house, which is house of loss and expense. And then also rules the 7th house, which is the house of marriage, relationships, and business partnerships as well. From now to November, you may experience some issues related to your health. So make sure you pay extra attention to your diet and your physical workout regimen. This is not the time to neglect your health. So make sure you eat very well. You don't neglect your health and your eating habits because of a heavy schedule, because of a workload or anything like that. So make sure you're paying very close attention to your health and you don't neglect it. Even if you feel okay right now, it's not the time to take chances with your health by ignoring good eating habits, eating on time, etc. This is also a time when you come across some good opportunities in your career and your professional area. But it's entirely possible that you either overlook them or you miss them due to your busy schedule or some miscommunication issue. So pay close attention to everything that's coming your way if you want to take advantage of these opportunities. Remember that this is effort that's going to give you results at this time, because luck is probably not on your side at this time. So whatever effort that you make sure you're paying attention to everything that's coming your way, to what people are saying, instead of being a little bit self-absorbed at this time. Self-absorbed not in a negative way, but in a positive way, meaning you're so self-absorbed with your overwork, overloaded schedule that you kind of overlook what people are saying to you or any opportunities that are coming your way. Now, after November, the situation with health drastically improves and you begin to feel a lot better. And if there's anything that you were suffering from in terms of your health, the healing will begin slowly, but it starts to get better, definitely. At that time, it's also a positive time for your children. It's a good time for love life. and creativity and new ideas. So if you're doing a business, you're starting new projects, anything in your career, implementing new business ideas with a big dose of creativity can do wonders for you. So whatever you do, make sure you add a dose of creativity, think outside the box, do new things, and that can do wonders, absolutely wonders for you, especially if you're a business owner, you do something on your own. Working with foreign countries, foreign companies, or anything foreign at this time is also going to be very beneficial for you, but after November. This is going to be a very positive time for your love life as well. If you have children, they're going to do really well as well. Gemini. Gemini, Ketu is currently transiting in your 5th house, and then after November, it'll move to your 4th house. Now, for you, Mars rules your 11th house, which is a house of gains, and it also rules your 6th house, which is a house of, sickness, disease, your daily schedule, and your daily workload. Gemini has been having an okay time as far as their finance career is concerned. But now, until November, the period gets even a lot better in terms of finance and career, especially finance, because Mars does rule the house of gains. So the guidance that I can give to Gemini is to incorporate some creative new ideas or try something new and innovative in their business or profession or any projects that they take on, because that's going to have some very magical, profitable results for them. You need to get out of the same rut and show some creativity, think outside the box, even in your financial planning. Of course, you would remember to do some good research and planning before you change your financial planning or do any financial planning. But definitely think outside the box and come up with some creative ideas on how to manage finance or how to generate wealth and finance. And that's going to have magical results, because the key right now is, like I said, to think outside the box and do something new and innovative in your field, in your matters of finance, in your matters of career. After November, your focus shifts to the health of family members. So you may have some worries related to them, especially if there's some senior members of the family. Now, the good news is that if you were wanting to buy some big ticket items like a home or a car, that may happen after November as well. It's also a time to redo your home or spend on some dream project related to home improvement after November as well. So there's a chance of some materialization of a dream project or something that you really desired to do. There's a chance of that occurring after November as well. So think hard of what you really want to do. Come up with some good creative ideas and let it manifest. Cancer. Cancer, currently Ketu is in your 4th house, and then it's going to transit after November to your 3rd house. And Mars rules your 10th house, which is the house of career. It also rules your 5th house, which is the house of children, love life, and your personal happiness as well. Now, Cancer has already been experiencing some tough challenges related to several matters, I know. But this Ketu Nakshatra change from now until November may present you with a dilemma related to how you can successfully juggle your busy work life with your home life and relationships, the demands at home by your family. Your relationships will demand a lot of your attention, and at the same time, your career is going through a very delicate stage, and that can't be neglected either. So this is going to be a very stressful time for you, managing the work-life balance. The best thing you can do at this time is to get some good advice, either from your superiors, some mentors at work, or any of your personal gurus or advisors that you trust on how to best handle this situation. Because if either one of those areas is neglected in your life, there could be some unwanted events. If you neglect your relationships, this is not a good time for that. If you neglect your career, definitely not a good time for that. I've been saying that for a long time, that this is a very stressful time for any Cancers, their career. There could be unwanted events as far as that is concerned. So you can't really ignore one for the other. And so the best thing for you, or the best guidance I can give to you, is to manage this delicate balance, a work-life balance, manage it really skillfully and very well. Come up with creative ideas on how you can do that. Although after November, things change so well. There's a lot of relief, less stress, And there may be actually good new opportunities for career for Cancer. There could be new collaborations if you have a business or you're thinking of new creative business things that you could start. And this push and pull situation definitely improves after November. One of the other things that's good after November for Cancer is if somebody was looking for a job, if you're a Cancer ascendant, then after November, excellent time that you may find a job at that time. If you haven't been able to before that, the chance significantly improves after October. And also, if somebody trying to start a new business, then the time to do it would be after October, November. But just come up with something very creative, very different to do as far as the business is concerned, and there's a good chance it will be successful. Just don't do something that's the ordinary run of the mill. Think outside the box, come up with a great new idea, start it after October, November, and it should do really well. Leo. Leo, Ketu is currently in your 3rd house. Then after November, it transits to your 2nd house. Now for you, Mars rules the 4th house, but it also rules the 9th house. The 9th house is a house of dharma, spirituality, good guidance. And when there's a connection with Ketu, 3rd house and the 9th house, it gives you great intuition powers. So from now until November, this will be a very good time for you to work on new ideas, new innovations, creative ways to do things. And your intuition will be a very good guide to tell you what's good, what's right, what works for you, and what doesn't. So these ideas could be business related. If you own a business, come up with everything that you can creatively. Let your intuition tell you what will work, what it won't. If you're employed, then it's also a very favorable time. You could make some very good suggestions, innovative, beneficial ideas at work. That could be very favorable for you as well. Leos will do some travel during this phase, and a lot of the travel could be related to work during this time. If you do, that's going to have excellent favorable results. Now the key is to keep your intuitive powers heightened and alert, and let them be your guide on what is beneficial and favorable, like I mentioned before. The other good thing is that luck is on your side. So intuition combined with your luck is going to give you some amazing ideas for business success and career growth at this time. Now, after November, Ketu turns off that intuitive power because it goes into the 2nd house, and the focus then shifts to your health. You need to start paying attention to your health and your body. There's no adventurous activities, very good healthy lifestyle, and excellent eating habits is the way to go after November. Also, watch your communication with family members very carefully. Think before you speak. Wrong words, miscommunication, and how you say things, what you say things to family members can permanently damage relationships. Virgo. Virgo, for you, Ketu currently transiting in the 2nd house, and then after November it goes back to the 1st house. The 1st house indicates you, yourself, and your body. And for you, Mars rules the 3rd house of new things, new initiatives, and it also rules the 8th house. And the 8th house is a house of change, obstacles, struggles, but it also indicates a transformation. So from now until November, the focus is going to be on 3 things, which is going to be your speech, communication, your finance, and also the food that you eat. So from now until November, you need to watch how you say things, what you say, and who you say things to. So you have to be very careful before you speak. Choose your words carefully. Think of the long-term impact your communication will have before you start to say something. So sometimes Ketu makes people say something without thinking. So you need to really think before you speak. Also, as far as your finance is concerned, you need to be a little more creative on how you manage your finance. Don't spend it without thinking. Don't give it without thinking. So managing your finance in a very creative way is going to have a lot more positive result than just frivolously spending it or giving it away. So that's one of the second things you have to think about from now until November. And then thirdly, the food that you eat. You have to be very careful about your diet. Otherwise, it can impact your health on a long-term basis. So be very careful about what you're eating during this phase also. Now, after November, things change very drastically for Virgo ascendants. And the reason for that is Ketu actually comes into your 1st house, which is you, your body. And that means that there's going to be a major transformation in your physical self. So you turn your focus inwards to yourself for this transformation in terms of health, self-image and your appearance and how you look. So this is going to be rather transformatory for Virgos after November, where they become very aware of how they look, what they look like, their physical body in terms of their health. And it's going to completely transform, and they are going to pay very close attention to their body in terms of health, like I said also. So Virgos may become very preoccupied with what they eat, their physical exercise, workout regimens, their appearance and how to change their appearance, their clothes, and just basically their image and how they look. And it's going to be a very positive transformation. The one guidance I do have for a Virgo after November is to make sure you manage and take care of your spouse and your marital relationship after that, because that could be a little bit challenging. Definitely take care of that aspect of your life as well. Libra. Currently, Ketu is in your own ascendant house, your first house of body. And a lot of Libras have probably undergone a lot of transformation, or they still may go through some transformation in their physical appearance. And it's going to transit into your 12th house after November. From now until November, this phase is a very favorable one in terms of profession, career, and also in terms of income and finance. You may come across some new opportunities, and there may also be some promising and positive events related to your career. If you're a business owner, this is a very favorable phase in terms of business. I encourage you to think of some innovative and creative ways to add new dimensions to your business and try to grow it. For those individuals that are employed in your career, make yourself very visible by offering creative input at work. Think of new ways and better ways to do things, and make sure you put those ideas in a very positive way to your seniors, co-workers. Some Libras may have already gone through a great transformation already in their personal body, in their personal appearance in the last 1 year or so. And now this is an opportunity to transform your energy and become dynamic and creative at work. The main thing is how you become creative and offer good ideas. And change your positive energy as well, not just your physical body, but also change your energy along with it. After November, there could be some highs and lows in your personal life as well as your career. You will need to make decisions to let go of whatever is not having a favorable influence in your life. This could mean letting go of a relationship that's no longer working, or it could also mean letting go of a career or profession or a job that's not having a very favorable influence on you. But as things begin to leave your life, make sure you start bringing new things and new people into your life that may have a very positive influence on you and maybe make you a little more happier. Becoming a little bit more spiritual and connecting with your guru and your divine is going to be very critical from now until the next few years. And this is what's going to activate your general luck factor and also contribute to general overall happiness. Scorpio, Ketu has been in your 12th house of expenses and losses, and now it's going to move to your 11th house in November. Now, Mars is your own ascendant lord, so it kind of rules your own physical body, but it also rules your 6th house, which is the house of illness, diseases, and also your co-workers, your daily routine. From now until October, November, Scorpio might start to experience a general up and down as far as their health is concerned. And they also may have a sense of dissatisfaction in their career due to the lack of expected growth that they thought they were going to get. Their focus is also going to shift on their health. And if they've had any prior health issues, they may now have to try out a lot of different alternative healing methods. And it's a favorable time that something does help them heal. So they will find something that actually offers healing and recovery if they were suffering from a health issue. So this is a positive phase in terms of that. This phase is also good in terms of growing your social and professional network. And you may also start to see some new opportunities in terms of career growth or business growth. And in fact, some of these new opportunities or new job offers may involve relocation to far off places as well. Although after November, the situation changes quite differently, because up to now, you've probably had a very different approach to spending and finances. After November, you take a completely different approach to how you want to handle your finances. And this is going to be challenging in terms of relationships at home. Relationships and the workplace may also be a little bit of a challenge. So now the focus is going to be completely different after November, because now it's going to be more on how you manage your relationships at home, how you manage your finances better, because you realize that you probably weren't doing such a great job of it, and how you also can manage your relationships in the workplace. So this is going to be very relationship based after November, and it's going to be a challenge managing all these different relationships, and that's what you're going to be focused on. Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Ketu is currently transiting in your 11th house, and then in November it goes back to your 10th house. The 10th house is a house of career and profession, and Mars rules your 5th house and also is the ruler of your 12th house. The 12th house is the house signifying expenses, losses, and also solitude. So from now to October, Sagittarius, you are in a very positive phase of your career and finance. But the issue is that your focus is not on those things of career or finance. In fact, your focus is on the exact opposite theme, which has been about the softer and the more fun things in life. And so there's a very good chance that you completely miss out on all the great opportunities regarding career and finance that come your way during this phase up through October, November. You're going to be more focused on the things that you enjoy in your life, as opposed to finance and career. That's the more serious part of life. So I could say that you're more focused on spending your finance, meaning your expenses are quite high at this time. You're enjoying your finances, spending them, as opposed to how you can grow your financial situation or make it better or earn more. And so you may find that your expenses have now become a lot more and maybe even out of control. And a lot of those expenses may seem to be rather unnecessary. So it's a good time if you want to rethink of how you want to spend this time with this phase. You can definitely refocus your efforts on career and finance, because it is a very positive time. And if you don't want to miss out on any of the good opportunities, business opportunities, job opportunities that come your way, you may want to change your focus during this time. Now, after November, the focus that you're going to have is going to shift completely when Ketu changes its zodiac sign. So it's going to shift to the health of family members. Also, they're going to ask for your help. So your responsibilities seem to increase, especially seniors within the family or even your parents. So you may find yourself having to care for them, or may have additional responsibilities in your life. You maybe also have some worries regarding the health of some family members or your parents after November. So the guidance that is, make sure you adjust to the changing situation and be flexible enough to manage those responsibilities, manage your relationships after November. There's also the possibility of some job change, just change in responsibility after November within your job or your profession. So stay very adaptable, stay very flexible to a changing situation after November in various aspects of your life. Capricorn. Capricorn, currently Ketu is transiting in your 10th house, and after November it goes to your 9th house. The 9th house is a house of dharma, spirituality, good guidance from your gurus, and it's also the house of luck. And Mars rules your 11th house, which 11th house is a house of gains, wishes, desire, fulfillment, but it also rules your 4th house. The 4th house is the house of mother, and it also rules your mental happiness. Now, from now until November, you may be experiencing a bit of a slowdown in terms of career, and also there may be some tension within the home environment, as well as you have a feeling of discontent or disconnect even with family members. This is also not a favorable time for your mother's health, and this may be giving you anxiety and a sense of disturbance as well. It is a good idea to generally slow down at this time, not put any pressure on yourself. Rather, you should try to come up with some creative ideas on how to find your own internal happiness. And in order to do that, some of the remedies or things that you can do is you can try yoga. You can also try meditation. And one of the things that works wonders is deep breathing or pranic breathing exercises. Those kind of things are going to do wonders for you at this time, so you can definitely give those a try. And the good news is that after November, things are going to change a lot for you. Your career and finance definitely improves a lot. And also luck begins to be on your side because the ninth house does get involved. And you may also take a foreign trip for religious purposes or even for educational purposes to increase your skill set in some way. And if you do take that long distance or the foreign trip, it's going to do wonders for your mental health. It's really going to go well. It's a very favorable thing for you to do. This time after November is also very good for personal growth at the spiritual level and mental happiness. So as long as you stay spiritual, connected to your belief system and divine, definitely things look up after November and you do feel a lot better. Just take good care of your mother's health during this whole time. Otherwise, staying connected spiritually is a wonderful remedy for Capricorn. Aquarius. Aquarius. Ketu is currently transiting in your ninth house, and then after November, it transits to your eighth house. The eighth house is one of obstructions, challenges, mental stress, and above all, the eighth house is a house where a person transforms completely in different ways. Mars is the ruler of your third house, and it also rules your 10th house. The 10th house is that of your career. Now, from now until November, this is going to be a very positive time in terms of business and financial and personal growth. You may have excellent business opportunities that present themselves at this time, and if you make the right choices, it could have a very favorable impact on your finances as well. If you're a business owner, it's a very rewarding phase to think of creative ideas and innovative ways about expanding your business. If you're a salaried employee, then you can combine creativity along with the enthusiasm to generate new ideas and suggest improvements in your field of work. Now, that would give you very good and promising results. So definitely the key to career success and personal growth is to come up with creative ideas, innovative ideas, and thinking outside the box to bring in new ideas to implement in your career or your business. And that's going to be quite important if you want to achieve professional growth. After November, be prepared for a phase that's going to transform you in different ways. The first thing that might change is your health, and that's going to need your attention. So make sure you have good health habits, take good care of your health, and don't do anything adventurous. Also, key relationships may become very challenged, so you need to make sure you watch those, especially your marital relationships. So pay attention to that, take good care of that. Also, there could be some financial ups and downs during that phase, so don't do anything risky regarding any financial planning. Also, it may not be a good idea to purchase expensive items like vehicles or homes and not have any real estate transactions after November. So if you're planning on doing that, it's a better idea to do that before November. So this phase, like I said, means transformation. And so you need to be prepared for transformation. As long as you stay flexible and can accommodate the changes that come along, it could be manageable, but just be prepared and flexible to handle some of the challenges that come after November. Pisces. Pisces, for you, Ketu is transiting currently in the 8th house, and then it transits back to the 7th later this year. Mars rules your 2nd house of food, family, finance, and also rules the 9th house, which is the house of dharma and luck. Now, from now to November, your health may be average. You probably don't have too many health issues to worry about at this time, but at the same time, you're also not taking any extra special care of your health. Lots of Pisces people may also have not been paying a lot of attention to their eating habits and have probably been even neglecting their health to some extent. The reason is that they probably felt that they were healthy enough, so they've probably been indulging a little bit and neglecting their health, like I said. After November, the situation changes a lot, and some Pisces people may have to face some health concerns, especially those related to digestive issues. Also, there may be a little accident prone after November, so they need to be very vigilant and not try anything adventurous. Also, your luck is not going to be on your side after November, so I wouldn't suggest trying anything adventurous as far as activities or even trying new foods that don't agree with you. So you have to be very careful about your health after November. Also, they should start paying attention to their health and fitness. If they can start doing it now, that would be even better. but they certainly need to start paying attention to their health and fitness regime after November. They're going to have to do that in order to start feeling healthy again. The other major impact after November will be on their financial situation, because there can be sudden losses. So I'm advising against any risky business ventures or any financial planning that they're not completely aware of, or anything that's risky enough. There's the indication of losses that may happen at that time. There's also a chance that somebody may deceive you with related to money matters. So be very vigilant about that. Be very careful about your spending habits, and also how you handle your money. In fact, they need to start paying attention to their financial spending habits early on now. So if they can take care of that now, then there's less of an issue later in the year. There's also some challenges in the marriage and the marital relationships later after November, and that challenge could be related to their lifestyle and financial matters. So again, if there's a few things they can start doing now, then they have less to worry about in November. A lot of Pisces people have not been worried too much, because they're kind of having an average run on most things, health and financial, so they've not been paying attention. But if they do pay attention now, they have less to worry about later after November. With this, I come to the end of my video. I hope you've enjoyed my video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on one of my next videos. Goodbye for now.